Hello, everyone. Hey, Dawn.
Bonnie, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you? The sun is
I'm
shining.
awesome.
Yay.
Yes. You know what I think is amazing that we're doing Consultant Confident and Lunch and Learn, and it's still 12:30.
It's
So
Wednesday. Right
yes.
day, right time. Oh, excuse me. I have
And
the
you know,
hiccups.
Bonnie, you do? Uh-oh. Take a breath.
Boo.
So I'll tell everybody what we're doing today. What we
Okay.
are doing today in Consultant Confident is you and I are going to talk about lead generation ideas. Okay. And I think the first and foremost thing about lead generation is that there are about 100 different ways to approach finding new people. But a confused mind does nothing. So, what I've always like when I've come to a stale point in my business, I've stepped back and I've looked at some ideas and I'm like, wow, which one of those ideas might bring me joy? Or which one of those ideas might I enjoy doing? And then take it and just go with it. And one of the things is right now, being that we have new product and that it's spring and that it's been 3 years, just opening your mouth and asking people, would you be interested in a complimentary pack or a session might just be what you need. You might not need a newfangled idea. But I think we've come up with maybe 4, 5, 6 ideas, Bonnie, I think between the two of us that we
We
should chat
have.
about, right?
Well, and I just want to throw in, we talked about our website last week. Um, Both of our websites, those resources are a great way. There's a topic called generating leads. So look in there. And as Dawn said, confused minds do nothing. You're going to see an idea and you're going to think, or you're going to hear us talking about an idea and you're going to go, I could never do that. And then you're going to
Yep.
hear another one and you go, I like that. I could do that.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yes. So,
Should I
Bonnie,
go?
why don't you talk about? You had mentioned Facebook. How
Mhm.
would you use Facebook to
Well,
possibly generate a lead?
Well, Facebook, I think, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of Facebook friends and acquaintances. And most of
Yep.
them I know, but not all of them are my customers. So
Correct.
to look at those and to even just offer them a facial. One way that you can do it is look at people's birthdays and offer them a birthday makeover. Um, Write up a script. You can just copy it then and paste it to the people that you want it to go to, but connect with people that you really, that are your acquaintances that maybe you haven't offered it to before, or maybe you did a long time ago. Dawn was telling me that she has a facial this week, Friday, with somebody that she's known for 25 years and has not had a facial, has not gotten together with her, but she offered her a birthday makeover. And you know what? The time was right. So you never know when the time is going to be right. So that
Well,
is what I would do with Facebook.
and I think the beauty of Facebook, what we've learned over the last few years, and Bonnie, you and I have done a great job with this. Let's say these people live in Oklahoma, and they might say, I can't get pampering. You live in Wisconsin, I live in Oklahoma. Wrong. You can send them a time-wise strip, a charcoal mask strip, and then you can conveniently invite them to Skin Sesh
Mhm.
on Tuesday night, where Bonnie and I do all the work and they just put their face to bed. So it's not high pressure sales. It's all about complimentary pampering. So let's tie that all together about just working smart, not harder. Correct?
Right, right. So when you look at Facebook and you see people that are way out of town, it's okay if they're way out of town because you
Yep.
can offer that to them. Yay.
Yep. And then Bonnie, you had mentioned like I'm going to lump these three things: vendor fairs, restaurants, and like your favorite shopping place. How would you handle those?
Those are ways to get, you can mute me. Those are ways that I've done a couple different things. You can watch for like spring craft shows or spring vendor shows, might be at a school or a church or a business. So look for something like that. Ask if they have a Mary Kay consultant at it already. If not, set up a display at it. Ask if you can. They generally don't cost a whole lot of money. So ask if you can do that. Um, I've done a booth at Maurice's, has been so kind to welcome me in. I set up a booth at Maurice's. I offer a gift certificate from the store, and actually, the store offers a gift certificate from me too, which is really nice. But I offer to buy a gift certificate from the business. So if you have a favorite boutique, you could offer to buy a $25 gift certificate from the store. You know, people want to sign up for that drawing because they like that store. They're there. So that is a great way to get contacts. And another thing that I've done, which was super fun, is for Valentine's Day and for St. Patrick's Day, I've handed out flowers. You can get wooden roses, you can get real roses if you can get a good deal on them. And I remember the first year that I did it. I tied a label to it with my business card, and I handed out roses. And I just said, "This is for you." It was on Valentine's Day. And the owner of the restaurant came up to me, and he was the one that gave me permission to be there. But he said to me, "Why are you doing this? You know, obviously you are spending money." I mean, it probably was like, I don't know, $80 of roses or something that I was handing out. He said, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "You know what? I could advertise on a placemat. Your people might notice it. They might not. But if I send them home with a rose with my business card tied to it, they probably will remember me." And it was just such a warm, fuzzy, good feeling to be able to offer that to people. So that was kind of a fun thing to do. So you can do that at, Mother's Day or St. Patrick's Day, or maybe on Professional Administrative Day. You could do something. So there's lots of different, Nurses Day, Teachers Week, lots of different days that you can hand out little swag bags, little pampering things. It doesn't necessarily have to be flowers. It can be something else. So if that sounds like a fun thing for you, that is a fun thing to do. Another thing that I've done is, which I think has been really fun, is Office of the Week. You know what? Post it on your Facebook group and say, "Who is an office that wants to be my Office of the Week?" And you can have an Office of the Week. You can go in during a time when you can do a little show and tell, take everybody a little gift, make them like a big deal. And it's so fun. So that could be a bank or any kind of business that has office reception, a dental office, any kind of office, manufacturing office. It doesn't matter what it is. If they have a group of, a couple women, that works out great. One thing that both Dawn and I wrote down on our list of our ways to generate leads was called the Franks method. And it's an acronym, and I'm going to give you what that means. So Franks, the F stands for friends. So think about friends, and Facebook might be the place to do that, but think about friends that you've had or that you have, people that are in your life that maybe you haven't even offered a facial to. Welcome back, Dawn. We're up to R in Franks.
Oh my God.
I know. Do you want to tell them what R is?
It's relatives. And, Bonnie, I will say relatives. Just this past week, I have a relative who, she probably knows I'm in Mary Kay, but we talked about the career opportunity and products and stuff like that. But I've known this young lady. I mean, she's in her mid-30s now. I've known her for a long time. And it's funny how, when you are a business person, you don't want to be like on people. You kind of just wait for them to make a comment, and then you reach out, and they're very receptive. So relatives, it's just one of those things where ebbs and flows, sometimes
and
you just never know.
I was going to say, sometimes I haven't offered people, and if you're watching this, you're a consultant and you know exactly what we're saying, because you don't want to be like Dawn said, but you want to offer it to them. You want them to know the things that you have available, but you want it to be gentle. So sometimes they'll even be like, "You know what? I have to ask you something. I don't want to make you feel like you pressured that you have to, buy Mary Kay or have a facial, but I want you to know that I want to pamper you and I want to give you the services that I have to offer. Would it be okay or would you be open to getting together and seeing what's new with Mary Kay, or would you be open to having a facial?" So I think just to let them know, they know too. I mean, they feel the same way. Like they know you sell Mary Kay and you want them to feel comfortable.
And even sometimes I think, Bonnie, it could be just taking a lookbook and maybe putting a few lipstick samples in there or a color look and giving it to them and just saying, here, I thought you might enjoy this. So it's,
Mhm.
I think we have this headset about it's about what we sell. It's not about what we sell. Our business is so the other side. It's what we do for those people and how they look on the outside and they feel on the inside. So, I mean, if you
Mhm.
take a way that it's not about selling, it's about helping them with their needs, then you're doing it
Mhm.
for the right reason. So,
Yeah.
and then
All
the
right.
next letter from Frank is A. What does A stand for, Bonnie?
A is acquaintances. So acquaintances might be people that you know, but you don't know really well. Maybe you know of them, maybe they're at church, maybe you see them all the time at your kids' events, maybe you see them all the time at at businesses, acquaintances.
Yes.
Think about that group of people and reach out to them. Okay, the
Yep.
next letter is N. What's an N?
Well, it's a neighbor.
It's a
And
neighbor.
even last year, Bonnie, I had an error. I ended up ordering the wrong lookbooks. So I had like 10 extra packs of lookbooks and I had no idea what to do with them. So I handed them out in my neighborhood. And I had
Mhm.
one person out of like 100 call me. But it's not about what I got from it. It's just that they had that book. And I don't know if they looked at it and maybe they'll call me sometime today or tomorrow. But it's about letting them know what you do because the last thing you want is seeing a pink Cadillac drive down your street and go in your neighborhood. So, I mean, you just saying, you just want people to know that you're doing Mary Kay. Mhm.
Mhm. Yes,
And
and going back to that,
what's
sometimes we give people a lookbook or we hand it out, and it might be laying at a reception desk, it might be laying in a waiting room, it might be in somebody's counter, and all of a sudden somebody else comes over and they see it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get this book?" So you never know where that leads to. The
you never
next
know.
letter is K, and that stands for kids. Now, my kids are growing, but I can look at that. When I first heard that, I'm like, oh, I don't have kids' activities or kid schools or kid kind of things like that. But I have kids. I had kids in school. They have classmates who are of age to use Mary Kay. They have moms who I can offer a facial to. So just those kid connections that you had along the way.
Yep.
Okay, Dawn.
And I always say with the kid things is pick a product of the week. So maybe you carry the new 3 hand creams with you and wherever you go, just say, hey, would you like to see what the new product of the week is? And then give them a squirt. So you're not saying, hey, do you want to buy this? And then if you do that every week, they're going to look at you and say, hey, what's the product of the week? Because you're both sitting in the stands watching your kid play hockey, or you're both standing there watching your kid do gymnastics. So just make it work for you. So, yes.
Mhm.
So, Bonnie, when I started thinking about ways of networking, I brought it back to some of the traditional ways of doing the traditional things that we grew up, and some of them might be like a networking group. Some of them might be finding out who's new in your community. Working with brides is another great way of um, developing names. Um, Maybe even working with your beautician of being able to leave some business cards out because in a beautician, she has people coming in every week who might be able to grab your card. And if she's one
Mhm.
of your users, she can promote your business. Facial frames or like a generation lead box is a great idea. And what I like about the facial frame is that people can just text, if you have it where they can text you or scan a QR code, then you don't have to go into that place of business every week and collect the names. So um, these are just ideas. You don't have to do all of them. You might call Bonnie or me and go, what's that about? What would that look like? And we can help you. But some of it is just thinking out of the box of being open
Mhm.
to finding new customers. So
And I'm going to expound on your hairstylist.
yes,
S in Frank stands for services. So think about the businesses that you do service with, the
yep,
dentist, the
yep,
hairstylist, the
yep.
places you go in all the time. Think about those people. And I would encourage you to keep a Frank's list, like go through it. Like Dawn and I were talking before this that we thought every 3 months to just go through it again and make your list and see who you've contacted, see who you haven't, because that list will change. You'll meet more people. You think of people. You'll add a different business to your list. So just to be open to
And
possibilities.
Bonnie, there's two other things I'm going to suggest. Now that um, one other thing that you could do is pick an office of the week to pamper. So you might.
I did say that.
You did? Okay. And did you talk about um, having like silent hostesses where
I didn't.
you give like a beauty bag to some of your um, top customers who they can take a satin hands and they can do satin hands with people they work with. And really all you're doing is looking for opinions, like a phone number and things like that. So, I mean, I guess to me, it's like, just have fun with this. This is having fun. And I was talking with a consultant this past week and I said, what is your intention? How many new customers would you like to generate this month? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, well, if you don't have an intention on a number of new customers, the universe or God won't provide you with that because they don't think that maybe you want it or can handle it.
Mhm,
So, I mean, some of it is if you say, hey, I would like 5 new customers, then 5 new customers you're going to find 5 new customers,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes. I think when Dawn says that, it reminds me of the self-talk that we have. So if you're telling yourself nobody wants to book, everybody has a consultant, everybody uses something else, you will never get past first
go.
base.
Nope.
So you have to never get past goal. Yep. You have to be like thinking, yeah, they do want my services. People do want to be pampered. And your whole opinion will change. Just
Yes.
have that positive expectation.
Yes. So I'm hoping that you guys have fun with this and that bookings and leads are just plentiful. So, all right. So you guys have a great
Bye-bye.
afternoon and we will see you next week. All right. All right. Bye bye.